All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Golden Age Preppers. I am so, so excited to join you here for this monthly satsang, satsang. That's what they call it in India. It's a gathering of enlightened, awakened people wanting to experience a higher states of consciousness. So, Metatron has been bugging me to do this all summer, and things have not really slowed down, but I was just, yeah, he really pushed me. And so I'm glad because this is going to be amazing, amazing. So I'm just really, really excited that everyone's here with us, joining us here today. So let me just explain just quickly what you can look forward to every month. As many of you know, I have a inner circle, and it's an awesome membership program. And I have some of you, Alicia, I think you were the first one, you and Julie Boyle were the first ones in there, and Jean, my tried and true tribe there. Uh, I think it's been 4 years or maybe more. So yeah. And I don't market it a lot. So our group is really small. I like it that way. But this is going to be part of the inner circle. I'm going to come in live once a month and be here, office hours, be here available for you. And we're focusing specifically on prepping. So being prepared, not scared. Because I just did darshan with Bhagwan, like in person. It was so exciting. And there was just a very small group of us who had attended the 3 day, and he was live with us just chatting like I am with you, and we could ask him questions and such. And so he went into explain some things about what we can expect, and he's here with us absolutely, along with Metatron and the Pleiadians. And I have a piece of hair that's just going to tickle me the whole time here. But yes, they're all here. Your team, my team, which just keeps getting bigger and bigger. But yeah, so like I said, Metatron has been bugging me to do this for a long time, and Bhagwan is encouraging all of us in the Golden Age movement to gather a group of 64 people together and really support them and really help them move into advanced states of awakening and even enlightenment. I'm called a soldier of light in his army, if you will, of light workers. And there's about, I think, is there 400 in North America? But yeah, and he's really, really encouraged us. And that was, part of the darshan was that things are tough right now. And, it's not looking good. It's not looking real great. So he has really encouraged us to go out and gather a group together and sit with that group and really support them. And he will be with us helping with the reprogramming of the brain. The advanced states of awakening will occur during this time we are together every week. So we'll start with the Reiki share, and we've got a small group today, so there'll be enough time to do each person. And then we'll close with the Smarna Diksha, which I was initiated in India when I was there in March. So it's super exciting. I'm one of just a handful that were initiated in person with Bhagwan. So I'm just so blessed, so honored. My life has completely changed since I got back from India. I went to the Abundance Festival and met Bhagwan and Amma and his son, Krishna Ji, and his wife, Preeta Ji. And it was just a phenomenal experience. And so I can't wait to share some forecasting things I've been shown, and my group of people that I kind of check in regularly have shared with everyone to give us all a little bit of hope. And so we're going to start with, and we'll have time for question and answer. So this isn't just about me chattering and you listening, although I could do that all day. This is really about engaging and sharing best practices, because I can only watch so many YouTube videos on prepping in a day, seriously. And if I take myself times, we have, I think, 15 people sign up here today, times 15, and each of us learn and grow and connect and bring that information back here and share. I mean, think about the resource that we can be to each other, how valuable this will be for all of us. So this is about sharing. So come with what you're doing, come with what you're getting, or what you're being guided to, or visions that you're seeing that are coming. So yeah, and then that's how we grow. That's how you grow in your gifts, because the more that you use your gifts, the more that you are with like-minded people, or I love how Elizabeth Harper calls it light-minded people. She's such a genius. The more that you're in that vibrational frequency, the more your connection with your own team will become stronger and clearer, which is another big thing that Bhagwan pointed out, as well as Metatron, that it's important for us to gather together, make the time. And if there's another day and time that works better for you, let me know, because these days and times I'll try to switch it up and be flexible. I'm trying to center it around the new moon and the full moon. Today's our lovely new moon. It's all about fresh starts and new beginnings, which is so beautiful and so perfect for starting up a new group, right? So yeah, we've got the beautiful energy, because it's like hypnosis. There's two prime times of hypnosis in your day: right away before you get out of bed in the morning, and right before you fall asleep at night. Those are two prime times for manifesting. And whatever you're thinking or saying actually gets absorbed at a deeper level in your subconscious mind during those two times of the day. And the same is true for healing and energy work. The new moon and the full moon are plumb full of extra special energy. So I always try to do classes and workshops and such around those dates, the new moon and the full moon. And I've been told 3 days before the new moon and full moon, and 3 days after, is that prime energy. So it's not just that day of. You get 3 days before and 3 days after. So it's like, yay! And Bhagwan does a lot of work with the full moon. There's an intensity and energy in the full moon. India does a monthly meditation with the full moon specifically, because there's a special sacred energy that comes through the full moon that assists in reprogramming our brain for advanced stages of awakening. And so yeah, today we get the new moon. But let's go ahead and take a few minutes to do a Reiki share, and I'm going to tell you what that looks like here. We're going to, Metatron wants to say hello. And we love his energy, and it's great for the Reiki share. And we just did the master attunement with our group, which was amazing. So there's several on this call here, are basking in that energy with Metatron and the Pleiadians and all the Reiki guides. So they are itching to get started on that, and we'll do about 10 minutes here. So, how the Reiki share will work is we'll go around. I think we have 9. Okay, yay, we got 9. Um, we'll go around, and each person will have like 1 minute, and then I'll have you rub your hands together, and we'll kind of beam in on that person for 1 minute, and you can request if you have something specific that you'd like help with. Remember, it's Reiki isn't just physical, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and yeah, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. There's 4. So anything is good. And if you don't need anything specifically, you have a request for a loved one, that's perfectly fine too. And if you have a photo you want to hold up for us, that's great. Or just their name and their birth date, that's fine too. But roll quickly. So when I get to you, be ready. Okay. Because our time is already slipping away. All right, so we're going to let Metatron open. Then we're going to go into the Reiki share and put it on gallery view at that time. I'm just so excited. And look at, you're all here. Yay! All right. Okay. It's like it's like a class reunion with my Reiki people, my Reiki students, my Reiki angels. All right, are you ready? Here we go. It's helpful if you take 3 deep breaths with me, and you can keep your eyes open. That's fine. Whatever you're guided to do, it's okay. Here we go. It's been a while. Welcome. I am Metatron. We are thrilled and delighted to gather together here in this sacred circle with you. We welcome in the Pleiadians, Sri Amma Bhagwan, and all of your guides and masters and teachers, opening up to more of who you are and who you came here to become. We understand this is a very difficult time on your planet, and we want you to know that you are not alone. Your spiritual team is very near to you. You only simply need to call on them, and they will assist with whatever you need. Allow yourself to experience all of the emotions that arise throughout your day. Do not judge or criticize yourself. Become aware of the stories the mind creates. You are slowly dissolving the ego. Each day you are coming closer and closer to aligning with your spiritual self. The freedom of being in a physical body at a spiritual level is enormous. We had many dreams for this earth, space, frequency, and we still do, but we need your assistance. Thank you for showing up here this day and being the change you are called to be on this planet now. I am Metatron, and I have spoken here this day. If your eyes are not open, I'm going to invite you to open them. And we're going to take a few moments to do an eye gazing meditation. And just stay with whatever arises in your body. Go ahead and place your hands on your heart. And close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath. And clap your hands 3 times. And now we're going to go ahead and do the Reiki share. And we are going to start with Amanda. Unmute yourself, Amanda.
Hello.
How can we help today?
I just want general clearing of my energy body and general healing.
Okay, beautiful. All right, so go ahead and rub your hands together. And you're receiving, Amanda, so I'm going to have you just place your hands, you rub your hands together and place your hands on your thighs. Okay. And I'll have you close your eyes. Yeah. And we're going to go ahead and beam Reiki. Excellent. All right, we're going to move over to Blake. How can we help today, Blake?
Well, I want to sell a property. Should we send Reiki to the property, or just for the perfect buyer to be sent, or what do we ask for there?
Let's tune into the property and ask the property, will cleanse and clear the property. Any blocks the property has to being acquired by a new owner. Okay, perfect. We'll go ahead and do gallery view. So let's imagine Blake's property. Where's your property, Blake?
It's in Pine Top, Arizona.
Okay. And go ahead and tune in and connect in with the energy of the property and asking why, what the block is, how we can assist in the perfect sale from the perfect buyer for the perfect price. And I'm just picking up that the property doesn't feel loved, that everybody's always trying to get rid of it. And so just beaming love and acceptance. Excellent. Thank you, Blake. Beautiful picture. All right, we're going to move over to Iona. Iona, how can we help you today?
Hi. My body bottles something, but that was something since yesterday. I feel a bit under the weather, so if you can help me heal that. Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. So go ahead and rub your hands together. Iona, I'm going to ask you to take your glasses off. Beautiful. Thank you. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Iona. And Susan, you're next.
Okay, I would like to release blocks that are keeping me from moving forward with my business.
Perfect. All right. So everybody rub your hands together. And because we're a group, we're creating a collective consciousness. We don't need to disconnect every time we move to the next person, because we're working together collectively and then individually. So just rubbing your hands together, activating that energy for each individual person is enough for that connection. So releasing any block Susan has with moving forward with her business. Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Susan. All right. Next up is Alicia. How can we help today?
I'm closing on my house on Monday, and we have a little snafu that showed up today. So I was just hoping if we could put a blessing that it all resolves quickly and peacefully before the closing on Monday.
Perfect. All right. Go ahead and rub your hands together. All right. And Julie, you are up next. How can we help today?
Releasing. I've been doing a lot of releasing today, so continue to release, especially in the knees.
Excellent. Okay, rub your hands together. And I'm just picking up on a past life where you were cut off at the knees, figuratively and literally. And I see you lying in a field bleeding out and feeling responsible for that, that you didn't make a good choice and that it's you're left behind like a whole family that depended on you. And there's a lot of tremendous guilt and tremendous regret. So when you talk about releasing that, it is letting that go and allowing, not understanding the bigger picture of life, that we never ever do anything wrong. We're always doing everything right. Yeah. 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 The knees are a big one for you. Yeah. Okay. Jean, you are up next.
So just general clearing and healing.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, rub your hands together. And Jean, I'll invite you to take your glasses off if you don't mind. Thank you. We just get a glare on the computer and it's hard. All right, take a nice deep breath. And let's move on to David. Welcome, David. Hi, how are you? David, we cannot hear you. I'm not sure if you're frozen or if we're just having technical issues. We can't hear you, so you're probably muted. Can you unmute yourself? I can try here. Here. Hold on, David. Let's see. Oh, you are unmuted, but we cannot hear you, David. No sound. No sound. So we can't hear you, David. And can you type in the chat? The chat? If anybody understands what he's trying to communicate. Oh, David can't hear anything. Okay. Okay. Oh, he can read my lips. All right. So how can we help you tonight, David? For healing, we're doing like a Reiki share. So for time's sake, we're going to go ahead and just do, and David might not be familiar with Reiki, and forgive me, so David, I believe, is from Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken. So probably not familiar with Reiki. It's just universal life force energy, and it's just a beautiful blessing. And so, no. And so we're just going to send David Reiki and asking that any blocks or interference in his life be healed and cleared. Okay. All right. Here we go. So everybody just rub your hands together. There we go. And David, you're receiving. So place your hands on your thighs, David. That's fine. Just asking that any interference be cleared out, any blocks to living the happiest version of yourself be removed. Opening up to more prosperity and abundance in your life. And love. All right, I believe David is our last one. Let me just check quick on our numbers. I think we might have one more. Okay, so just gonna check. Tina, how can we help you, Tina? Unmute. We cannot hear you.
Oh, just strength in my body, particularly my legs.
Okay, excellent. So go ahead and rub your hands together. And we're just asking for strength in Tina's body and her hands.
Legs.
And your legs. Well, your hands need them too for some reason. Love it. All right, excellent. So now that we've gone through everybody, I'll have you all clap 3 times and shake your hands. Excellent, excellent. All right, next we're just going to move into some of the things that I'm seeing are coming up, and then we'll give some time for Q&A. And I really wanted to keep this to 1 hour, so I'm going to honor that. Okay, here we go. Speaker view. I'm trying to get Tina off my speaker view. All right. That's weird. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, there. Gotta love technology. All right, so just a couple things. I'm going to set my timer because I don't want to go too long on this. I'm just going to do 5 minutes. Julie's 5-minute updated forecast, because most of you were with me the last time I did this. It's been several months. So the last time I talked about forecasting, it was September, where the virus would pretty much evaporate. And that's been pushed back. And it's been pushed back because people aren't awakening to the degree that was expected. So we could all feel that awakening starting, when everything was shut down, everybody had to stay at home, people were being more present in their lives and doing a lot of self-exploration. And then when, the bans lifted and everybody started, back to life, it really was like everything was tossed out the window. And we'll never go back to what we had ever, nor would we want to. So it's been pushed back. November, December, kind of toward the end of the year. And what I have always seen is that it has continued to get weaker. There's no denying that. And there's not as many deaths. There's not as many severe cases, hospitalizations. So I heard it once on the news, even though they're not really expounding on that, they're still heavy into the cases and the drama. Trust and know that it is getting weaker and that it will be moving through within the next few months. I do not see it getting, I do not see it hanging around for a couple years at all. I see it weakening and then eventually dissolving. I do not see a need for the vaccine, but I am seeing the vaccine is pushed down our throat like the flu vaccine. And I do see a simple solution, but they're kind of hiding it or covering it up because of the potential for the money making from a vaccine. So that's where we're at right now with COVID. And as far as the election goes, for a very long time, I was seeing Trump win a second term. But right now, that has shifted as well. So right now I'm seeing he's kind of neck and neck with Biden. And it really is kind of a showdown. You know, they're pretty much toe to toe there. And that it's a coin toss, literally a coin toss as far as who's going to triumph in the end. And the important thing is it really doesn't matter who we have for president. It's not going to make things better or worse. It's going to be about the same. And the person that runs is in charge the second term, it's going to be super tough on them. And it's not going to be an easy job. And so at this point in time, that's kind of where what I'm seeing with the election. And let me see, what else was, so there's a lot of concern around the awakening on the planet. It's not near where it needs to be in order for the planet to overcome the struggle and challenges easily. And so it is, what I'm being shown is that it will continue on as it has been. So we've got, and India calls them gold caps and black caps. So the black caps are the ones that are running around doing whatever they feel like. And the gold caps are the ones who are awakened. So the unawakened and the awakened. We're living it right now, right? But the problem is the vibration's getting higher and higher because we're in the golden age. And so you know that the brighter your light, the darker the darkness. And so the brighter the light over here, the darker over here, right? So that's why we're seeing so much distress, because that ego is trying to hang on. And so what I'm being shown by Metatron is that it's really important for us to gather together in communities, because that's how we're going to save each other. Because the unawakened ones are not going to save us. We're the ones that are going to have to save ourselves. And it's coming together in these pods. When we gather, I mean, I can feel the vibration. I don't know if you can. I mean, like, I'm ready to, it's really hot all of a sudden. And that's my body temperature and the intensity of the energy right now. But we are coming together to create these 4D and 5D communities of light. And the light is being positioned as a frequency around us, kind of as a shield around us. And so we're fine. Wherever we go, there's light. And where there's light, darkness cannot exist. So that's my whole purpose of creating this community. And be prepared and not scared. And to kind of share a couple of things that I'm doing to be prepared. So, speaking of being prepared, I came across an awesome video on YouTube, and I will post it in our group. It is from City Prepping, and it's called 21 Items the CDC wants you to keep. I'm going to do something quick here. 21 items the CDC wants you to keep on hand. So this is direct from the CDC. This isn't, from woo-woo prepper. So I'm going to go through, I'm just going to share a couple for time's sake, because I do want time for questions. And then I will post the link for the video. So the number one thing the CDC recommends that you have on hand for this pandemic is a NOAA weather radio. It's a NOAA weather radio. And the story the guy shared was that there was a hurricane that came through and ripped houses apart. People were, very devastated. And the FEMA came in and they were setting up shelters and giving out blankets and water and food, but people that were in houses that had experienced hardship had no idea because the power was out. And so the CDC said, you know, the number one thing you people need to have out there is a way to communicate so that we can, that you know where help is, so you know where to go to get help if the power's down or if there's been a disaster in your area. So that's on my, that just got moved to the top of my bucket list. I do not have one of those. Okay, the second thing is water, because you know you can only survive 3 days, I believe, without water. And so they recommend having 1 gallon of water per person per day. So for and a minimum of a 3-day supply of water on hand. And my husband did pick up one of those. I think it's really big. It's like 3 times the size of our bathtub, and he filled it up with water, and it's sitting in our basement. So I recommend at the very minimum, you know, going to the store and picking up some gallons of water. And then the third one I'm going to mention is copies of physical documents, to make copies like your birth certificate, your social security card, your driver's license. Make copies of everything and then put it in a fireproof safe, or put it someplace that you can get to it, you know, maybe a safe deposit box at your bank. You know, because if your house burns down or there's a disaster, it gets flooded and things are just chaos, you might need certain things to, you know, get what you need. So I again, that it just got moved to the top of my bucket list. But yes. And here I thought I was jump ahead. But yes, it was an excellent video, and I will share that with everybody. All right, now we're just going to go 5 minutes for questions, and feel free to type in the chat if anybody has any questions or anything you want to share that you've learned or you've found, and you want a resource you found that you want to share with all of us. So I'm going to be quiet. You can unmute yourself too. So how are you preparing? How are you being prepared and not scared during our time here?
I'll talk about it, Julie. So I've been doing this for years, and this is something that I'm really passionate about, is food preservation. So I grow most of the vegetables I eat and a lot of the fruit I eat, and canning, dehydrating, just and freezing, things like that, just growing herbs, things like that you can rely on when you can't get to the store. So there's so many ways that you can do that, and it saves you a lot of time. But also, because you're growing it at home, you know what's in it. Doesn't have all the chemicals and garbage in it, so that your immunity is a lot higher anyway.
I
So
love that. I love that. Now, I know I had talked to my husband about canning, and he had just made the comment that it's a lot of work. Can you speak to that, Susan?
yeah, I mean, it can be, if you do it like in huge batches, it can be a lot of work. I tend to do small batches, so it doesn't take me that much time. And like if I have even just a few extra things, or if the tomatoes aren't all ripe, I don't can tomatoes all at once. I throw them in the freezer as they ripen, and then I can them later when the weather's better. Because yesterday was 95 degrees here, and I'm not going to can when it's 95 degrees. I don't have air conditioning. So what I do is I just wash them, dry them, throw them in a freezer bag. And then when the weather gets cold and I want to heat up the house, that's when I do my canning. Or I just leave them in the freezer and I throw them in soups and make sauces out of that now. So it takes seconds. I do the same thing with berries. So right now, blackberries are ripening like crazy, wild blackberries. So I went out and picked some last night in my yard, and those go on a tray in the freezer. I freeze them till they're solid, throw them in a bag, and then you can just, take whatever you want out at any given time. So there's lots of ways to do that. And then
Yeah.
dehydrating too, like your herbs.
I know like the blueberries. My sister had suggested that because I had bought some at Farm and Fleet. They had a big
Yeah.
truck that came from Georgia, and
Right.
I bought a crap ton. And she said, put them on a cookie sheet and freeze them, and then put them in a bag. And I did that, and I'm astounded because when I want to have a handful of blueberries, I grab them out of the freezer, and they taste great frozen. It's
Yeah.
a great treat in the summer, but even when they start thawing a little bit after 10 or 15 minutes, they taste perfect.
Yeah, and tomatoes, like I don't like the taste of canned tomatoes that you buy because I can taste the tin. I can taste the metal. They have that metallic taste because I'm so used to fresh ones or ones that I can in glass jars. So when you put it in the freezer, it tastes like a fresh tomato.
So with the freezer, how long is it good in the freezer? Because I do freezer spaghetti sauce, and I just
Yeah.
made my first batch last night. It turned out pretty good. But how
Yeah.
long can you, that's a great idea to put a whole tomato in the freezer. I didn't think about that because I need 16 tomatoes to make a batch of freezer spaghetti sauce. And, half are ripe and half aren't. And my husband's like, you're going to need to do something with these. They're going to go bad. But I never
Yeah.
thought about just popping them in the freezer. How long would they be good in the freezer in a bag?
Well, I've had some whole tomatoes in there for 2 years now, and they're still good because they have a waxy skin on them. It keeps the moisture in and it keeps the freezer burn out. There's no freezer burn at all. So they actually keep a long time. Tomatoes keep longer than berries, though.
Wow,
Berries
wow.
usually keep about a year, but tomatoes can keep fresh for a couple years in the freezer. I usually go through them every year, and then I grow more, just restock the freezer. So,
Yeah.
1 year though, I went a little bit crazy, and I had 72 tomato plants or some ridiculous amount. And so I ended up with about 300 pounds of tomatoes. That's why I didn't grow any last year, and I still have some.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it
You're
was
so
really dumb. And the food bank got a lot.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's how we are with cucumbers. I told my husband, no more cucumbers. Oh my gosh. All
Yeah.
right, well, we've got about 5 minutes left, so let's move into the Smarna Diksha, and that is a special sacred blessing from India. So I'm gonna screen share with you the video, one of my videos here. And most of you are familiar with this one because I used it before when we did the 21 days of healing, the Hamsa Soham Ekam. So we're going to chant this for 6 minutes. Well, we'll do 7 minutes. That's how long I do your healing for every single day. So take a nice deep breath, close your eyes. And while you are doing that, I am doing a special sacred blessing called Samarna Diksha for Hamsa Soham Ekam. Hamsa Soham Ekam. Now having watched the video, it's actually showing and somebody unmute themselves. Can you hear the video and see it, please? Yes?
Yes.
So I'm going to have you watch the video. This is where I was at ACOM, and this is just such a beautiful video showing you exactly what I'm doing during these healings. So every morning at 7 a.m. for 7 minutes, I will include you in this beautiful, sacred, spiritual healing from India. This was the room that we were all in for the workshop every day for like 10 hours. And to the left is the stand where Amabak 1 would sit. And in the middle here is the they call it the Hiranya Dharma. It's a representation of the divine. The energy is breathtaking. And so during the healing, what I see is this energy flowing. It's like being poured into my crown chakra. And then when I do the healing for each and every one of you, it flows into your crown chakra. So you've got your hands in a prayer position and you're bowing your head. And then when I come to you for the healing, this energy is just being poured. This liquid gold is being poured into your crown chakra. So you can choose to keep your eyes open or closed, whatever's comfortable for you. All right, all right. Just in closing, I just wanted to say the next event coming up that we have is our Journey into Happiness, and that is coming next Monday. And I do have one free ticket that I'm giving away. So if you have never attended before and you're interested in joining us, be sure to private message me. It is Monday from 10 a.m. Central Standard Time to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'll post that link if others have been in the past and would like to join us again. For returning participants, it's $50. Otherwise, the price is $108. And it's a phenomenal experience, Journey into Happiness. India hosts it, and Bhagwan comes in and does a sacred blessing at the end. Remotely, so we don't see him, he's behind the scenes, but you can absolutely feel the energy. It is phenomenal. All right, everyone, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for showing up, and we will meet back here next month for more of this juicy goodness. I'll have you go ahead and unmute yourself and say good night.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
Good night.
Bye.